Hello, my name is Mrs. Courtney Perkins, and I'm going to be your child's fifth grade high ability teacher. As you may know, Silver Creek Elementary is participating in a new program this year specifically geared to our high ability students, or high achieving students, or above level students. So, what I'm going to talk about today is some common characteristics and effective strategies for working with our high ability learners. Um, this is a new program, and just to tell you a little bit about my background, is I graduated with a bachelor degree in elementary education in 2016, and I'm now pursuing my high ability license. So in December, I'll actually take a state Indiana test to be a high ability teacher, and then I'm going to continue on to get my gifted and talented master's degree. So I'm really working hard to try to get these students everything they deserve and need in their education. We want the very best for their education. They deserve to have fun. I read somewhere that by the time a student is in their senior year of high school, they will have completed 12,000 hours of education in school. So why not make it fun, enjoyable, stimulating? So I'm going to try my very best to do that this year, and I look forward to it. I'm so excited to be their high ability teacher and just to get this program going. And I will keep you posted on any changes or anything like that. So you'll notice I have a Bitmoji here of myself, and it says, "Hi, my name is Mrs. Perkins. Click here on me to see more resources at the bottom of certain pages." So on certain pages, you're going to see a Bitmoji. If you click on it, if you have time, it's going to take you to an additional resource, article, video, things like that. That's going to just explain more about your high ability learner at home, your child, how you can support them, how you can, just understand them better. So that is there as an option if you would like to do that. So what does high ability mean? According to Indiana and the textbook I've been reading, a student who performs at an outstanding level of accomplishment in at least one area when compared to other students of the same age group. It also is a student who displays the following: talents, motivation, or special interests. And you'll notice at the bottom right hand corner, here's a Bitmoji. If you do click on that, it's going to take you to another resource that's going to talk more about what high ability means, how you can support your high ability child, different ways to really enhance their learning, and things like that. If you have time to look at it, that's fine. If you don't, you can always come back later when you do have extra time, or if you just want to skip it altogether, that's fine as well. It's completely up to you. So three common characteristics that I'm going to talk about today is one, perfectionism, two, high involvement, and three, super sensitivity. There is a whole long list of characteristics that high ability students really show. But I'm going to focus on these three because as a high ability teacher in the past, these are the most common ones that I have encountered with my children in my classroom. So perfectionism, it means that you can never fail. You always feel the need to feel good about yourself. These are the students who, if they're not in first place, it's unacceptable. If they're in second place, they think they're a loser. They don't think they're you know meeting their standards for themselves. To some high ability students, doing well is just unacceptable. They want the very best title. They want that 100%, that A plus, the three, whatever it might be. Putting forth effort and trying something new is unacceptable. Now you may be wondering, why is that? Because these students, they have a fear that they're going to fail. So it's better to not even try than to try and to fail. So they want to be perfect. They want to know that in the end they're going to be the very best. They're going to have that 100% or whatever it might be. Um, these are the students who, to some students, it can take a heavy toll on their self esteem, their relationships, their creativity, and overall their enjoyment of life because perfectionism, as we all know, is just not possible. And as a child, I mean, that is just very heavy to have that in your mind that you have to be perfect. This has to be better. I can spend more time on it. It can always be better or whatever it might be. Um, so this is a student who's going to overcommit. They're going to do too much. They're going to have difficult time making choices. They always have to be in control, and they may arrive late to certain events because one more thing had to be done. They never seem satisfied with their work because, again, they think it can be better. So they keep working on it. They keep working on it, and this may lead to procrastination or a student who procrastinates. Um, they also pay more attention to a negative comment than a positive comment. So, say a teacher or a coach tells them something positive, but maybe they give them a goal to work on or constructive criticism or whatever it might be. This student is not even going to hear the positive. They are going to dwell on that negative comment and think about that night and day because that is what stuck out to them because they have that need to be perfect. Another characteristic is high involvement. This is a student who is often very creative and they have that creative mind and they just need to explore everything. These are the students who are always passionate about their ideas and they always want to speak up or raise their hand in the classroom about what their ideas are, their creativity, their beliefs, their views. So they're always wanting to share that anytime they have the chance. Some ways to support our high involvement students would be to give these students high expectations. So when these students come into my classroom, I'm going to give them my expectations. If they enjoy sharing, which I know they will, um, I want them to feel comfortable doing that in my classroom and when it's okay to do that in my classroom. I also want to give them independent work because I think that's a time when you really start thinking get your thoughts in order. But I also want to give them a time to really discuss it with their peers and have that time for collaboration and just allow them to do that because I know they need that involvement. Um, these are students who need a variety of learning options that are engaging and creative. So I want to provide that to my students this year. I want them to feel okay and with their creative mind. I mean, if they want to do something creative, I want to give those opportunities to do so. I also want to listen to students about their concerns, their beliefs, their fears about their experiences or their education. And I would encourage you to do that at home as well. Listening to a high ability student is something that makes them feel, like it's okay. Somebody's listening. Somebody hears me. Because these students can often get overwhelmed or stress out very easily, as you probably already know. So just listening to your students and really coming to their level. Of course, maybe to you it's not a big deal, but to them, it's the most important thing right now. So just listening to them and being on their level and saying, okay, I understand why you're feeling this and why it is a big deal, and just giving them those coping strategies and just being there for them really. Um, Another characteristic is just that super sensitivity. Many high ability students are super sensitive and emotional when it comes to ethical issues and concerns that are considered unimportant to peers. These are the students who try to make everything right. So, for example, say a student at recess doesn't get to participate in the kickball game or something. These are the students who are really going to stand up and feel like that was wrong, that every student who wanted to play the game should have been given the opportunity to participate and play the game with the class. And maybe other peers are like, well, whatever, they should have gone in there. I'm not going to, baby them, or whatever. And that really sticks out to this type of high ability student who has this characteristic. Many high ability students are emotionally immature, but they're intellectually advanced at the same time because of their age. So that makes it difficult for them to understand that how can you, how can you do that? That's not right. And they're really going to just stick to that. So here are some ways we can support. So support their exploration and wide range of interests without creating the pressure for them to be good at everything. We want them to get out there and try new things because they're high ability students. They need to explore. They need to, you know, just get involved with as much as they can. If they're interested in more than one thing or more than three things or whatever it is, we need to encourage them to do that. If they want to play, an instrument but also play a sport, they don't have to be the very best at everything they do and everything they try. But just, let them get out there and try new things because that is something that they really need to explore. We also want to encourage them to recognize their unique talents and be proud of their attempts as much as they are with their successes. If they're getting out there and trying new things, this goes back to perfectionism. I mean, a student would rather not try instead of trying and failing at something. So if they're getting out there and trying something, that's great. And we need to really applaud that they attempted it and be proud of that, even if they're not, 100% successful or 100% the best or whatever it might be. We also want to encourage their independence. I mean, these students are independent thinkers. They can do things on their own, and we want to encourage that. And we also want to, encourage them to be risk takers. I mean, try new things, get out there and explore. So these are just a few things I wanted to go over with you today. Some of the things that I've noticed with my high ability students in the past. I hope this slideshow helped you. I have some additional resources, and I have another handout that I'm going to attach with this slide that kind of goes over more of the program, the high ability program getting started at Silver Creek Elementary, and just my expectations and what I'm going to do for you, what I'm going to do for your child, and that I'm here for support, questions, concerns. I want us to be a team this year. So please reach out to me if you have any concerns, questions, or anything. I am here, happy to help. Thank you guys. Bye.